Alrighty, so it's been a long week and a long day. So 22 hours since the foliar feed went on around 9 o'clock last night. It's about 7 o'clock this evening. Uh, that was, let's see, it was July 18th. The foliar feed went on is July 19th. Um, Plants are looking healthy and vigorous. I don't see any detriment as per the foliar feed as of yet. So that's a good sign. It means we haven't overdone anything and killed anything mistakenly. So I like that as a beginning answer. And I've not gotten down to the north end of the rows here where all the CPB bug infestation was. But we're going to head down there next and see. Are we killing bugs yet? What's going on? And so along the lines of monitoring the crop health and managing this crop to its maximum potential throughout the season, and also having a better understanding between the two different soil profiles in this crop, I spoke with AEA today, and I'm actually going to get a plant sap test on both the good part of the crop and the other end where the soil is not as good, and then we'll be able to compare the two and see what the difference is between the two. And that'll also give us a gauge for where we're at plant health wise and what we might need to amend or adjust as we finish out the season. As yield sets on, as tubers set, we really need to make sure these plants have adequate and optimal health to maximize yield and productivity and quality and seed quality and storage capacity and flavor, and I can go on and on and on. All the benefits, we want to maximize those. So let's go see if we're killing CPB yet. All right, so here we are about midway down the row. And man, those plants are just incredible. We're really starting to see those flowers set in. We're not quite all the way down here yet. Oh, Japanese beetle. Not too worried about them. Oh, here we are. Colorado potato bug. Still on there. Um, Interesting though. I guess they are still chewing and moving. I don't see any dead on the ground yet. They definitely don't seem to be as active as they were yesterday. So maybe we've hit the point where they're feeling sick from the boron and the sugar, and maybe they're starting to ferment. They do seem a little bit more swollen. Oh, oh my! Well, we did it, folks. We're hurting him. He's not looking too happy. He's having trouble moving. So this is 22 hours after a foliar feed. No chemicals or pesticides. No toxins have been added to this at all. We're basically using boron and molasses to create fermentation in their gut instead of, well, boron, molasses, and virgin liquid seaweed concentrate and some macro and trace mineral nutrition to support photosynthesis to help make sure the plants stay vital. But yeah, no chemicals or toxins. And what we have going on here is potato bugs that are giving it up. Yeah, I mean, these guys, well, I'll try to dig up the video from yesterday. You can see them actively chewing and moving, and, they're looking fine yesterday. And today, this guy's looking a little bit swollen, like he might be about ready to explode. So I think we've made an effective hit on the potato bug without using chemicals or pesticides. And in the process, we've enhanced plant health and immunity. And that is the goal. Make the plants so healthy and strong that they basically resist pests. And then just disrupt the balance, the nutrient balance of the pests. And then we don't have to spray poison on anything. And then we don't have to eat poison. We don't have to feed poison to other people. And then we can all feel as free as a bird hanging out on a wire, can't we? So you can see they're still alive, but they're not happy. So there you go. It does work if you have good plant health and you target your foliar feed correctly. You can beat them. You don't need chemicals. And you don't need to go through the field picking off Colorado potato bugs, because when you start doing it on a big scale like this, that's pretty labor intensive. You gotta go through every day. We don't have to do that anymore. We cracked it, we unlocked it. And we're gonna keep doing that this year. Unlocked and overclocked. So just came up to check on the Colorado potato bug, but I had a little bit of time before the dark set, and I figured I'd get another cut pass on this. What was nice and wet, and that really did a nice job of breaking it up a little bit more. We're down to a pretty nice aggregate. The soil is actually very nice considering what it looked like when we first started working it. It looked pretty hard and rocky and pretty unmanageable, but this is actually turning out to be absolutely excellent soil underneath. And with a little bit of foliar feed and soil building and some amendment, this soil is going to be absolute fire. That said, I've been talking about this water keyway in this channel here and how moisture comes down. As I'm cutting this up, we can see right in here, right where this channel is, where this, I think there was a chisel plow pass down through here. But if not, there's at least this valley in here, right in here. And we can see a couple days after the rain where the moisture, if you recall in the video where I talked about key points in water and hydrology a little bit, I talked about how water moves about 1,000 times slower in the soil than it does on the surface of the soil. And here we can see that moisture that's collected all in that valley and probably sitting on top of all of that rock and coming down that channel. It's starting to show up in here. And this area is noticeably darker, wetter, moisture. And so that really does work out well, because that means that that aquifer is charging this growing block every time it rains, even before we start modifying hydrology and adding gain or benefit or advantage to how water flows and how we control water flow on this piece of land. So just thought I would show that while we had an opportunity. I don't know exactly how much rain we got. My weather station is glitchy and I haven't had time to play with it, but I would say we got at least an inch, maybe inch and a half, maybe as much as 2. I would guess about an inch and a half though, looking at moisture and just kind of having a sense, so to speak. So we'll just look at tomato plants and ginger and turmeric and all that stuff while we have a little bit of light left here. And you can see these plants have taken a nice deep green hue, and they're just growing like crazy. And actually, looks like they're getting a little too much of some sort of nutrient. We're getting a little bit of leaf curl here. And I suspect that might be one of the foliar feeds I did. I had a good bit of excess in the tank, and I didn't want to just throw it away. So I actually purged it off up here on the uphill side of this gravelly stuff, thinking this soil is not as good. If we're going to dump off some foliar feeds, you might as well let it build one of these soils up well. We can see kind of a difference in here, even just in here, going down that way. It's a little bit darker in here. But what I suspect is running down the slope and charging this whole soil area. And so that's probably why we're seeing, you know, some of this leaf curl and that kind of stuff. I may have also overdone it with the foliar feed last week, and we're just starting to see it now. I did not foliar feed any of these when I did the potatoes. And I was planning to come back and do another foliar, but maybe we don't need it. Maybe I wait a little while and let them roll for a while. But anyway, it's nice to see things growing well It's nice to see good moisture showing up in the soil here, and it feels great to come back to the farm and find things are advancing and evolving in a positive way. Beautiful, nearly full or full moon rising here. Thought I would catch a shot of it. I'll try and get a clip of the potatoes. All right, well, those potatoes are looking pretty good for 24 hours after that foliar feed, and those Colorado potato bugs are dying off. And we didn't need to use any chemicals or pesticides. So I hope you found this interesting or informative. Thanks for watching the Farmers CC's network. And you know the deal. Come on now. Say it with me. Keep your friends close and your farmers closer.